joining us today. Texas. So honestly, one of my favorite tracks. We obviously saw the real race life there last week, um, with the Ferrari boys in Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc bringing it home in P1 and 2. And obviously the controversial turning between Max and Lando into turn 11 and running wide and overtaken off track versus who was actually ahead at the apex. So it's a very interesting circuit. We have the S's, which is required heavy downforce, high downforce, but also the back straight, which you want kind of a low downforce setup. But it's like, where do you want that lap time? And sector one and sector three plays a major role into that. So you want to have a medium level downforce going into this track, typically pushing towards the higher end of downforce as well. So yeah, something to look forward to here. It's a very stacked grid. I'm hearing that there's some exceptional drivers here. Obviously, we know we have Haaland and F. Rose as the proven some of the fastest drivers, but we also have Alfredson, who was our maiden winner in IRL in Bahrain. AG, who has tremendous pace and has improved leaps and bounds and come a very far way. We also have F1 Jutsi, who's the brother of F1 Overwatch, who has shown tremendous pace and is self-proclaimed one of the fastest on this game. Switcheroo, we know, is absolutely insane, and I've been told by a few members in our Discord that Hasho123 is one of or a challenger to Haaland and F Rose. So, it's something to look forward to. And it is wet. It is raining. It's absolutely pouring it down. I don't know if the drivers are going to like this, but this is interesting to see. Not too sure how long it's going to be raining for. Who's going to track first? Does anyone have any setups for this rain? But it's wet conditions, as you can see. It's selected here. So very interesting stuff going into this first qualifying session, or the only qualifying session. Zenlente has chosen intermediate tires to begin with, and I believe he should be going out soon. Now, I just have to think to myself, what would I do if I was the driver out on track first? I'm not too sure. Haaland obviously makes the leap first, and he goes out first. Let's see what he can do and he's gone on the wet compound of tires in his Mercedes. It is absolutely chucking it down. As you can see there, no control going into turn one, absolutely drifting around that corner. The Belgium donning his purple helmet in his Ineos branded Mercedes. So as he goes through the S's, cannot control the car whatsoever, but he's doing a masterful drifts. I can see there. Yeah, that is looking beautiful. I'm not too sure if that's the greatest way to heat up your tires. Drivers, do let me know in the Discord if you are actually facing any type of issues when it comes to the race being wet, or what the conditions or track conditions is looking like. The driver behind him is his Mercedes teammate in Switcheroo. And for the past results, so just to give you an update on the standings. So the previous race result was F Rose in Saudi Arabia. I believe it was Saudi Arabia. No, sorry, Singapore winning. Then Alfredo in P2. Then Jutsi in P3. In the driver standing, we have Alfredson that's actually leading, or I call him Alfredo, but you can call him Alfredson, by 91 points. Haaland is in P2, 95 points. He's trying to do a double win the driver championship for Blaze and win it in Inferno as well. F Rose in by 2 points behind Alfred in P3. AG is in P4, closely behind. So that top four is really tight. But we go on board now with Haaland, who's completed his outlap now, and he barrels down the start finish straight into turn one. Has the apex of the corners really late, so you want to turn really early and get on the power really early as well, but careful not to have too much wheel spin. Dookie Monka has joined the session. Thank you so much. One of my favorite drivers to join the session. And as you can see, Haaland is flicking that car left to right, trying to cling to apex, trying to carry as much minimum speed around these corners. Turn one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Doing an incredible job here. As you can see, he's now coming up to the point where you want to brake heavy. It's so easy to miss your braking point going onto the back straight, the longest straight, obviously, of this track. And he powers down all the way down as he goes along. Behind him is starting a lap is Switcheroo. We'll switch over to Switcheroo in just a second to see how he's progressing. But the Mercedes duo today is going well. And as you can see, David Clark is not available. David Clark, I believe, has given up his seat. So someone else has taken it. Obviously, Haaland's the first man on track, so he goes purple. Tong has stayed within the pit lane. Tongina stayed within the pits in the Alpine, waiting for it to dry up potentially. This is the heavy downforce track. You want to carefully squeeze the throttle to squirt the car around that long apex. Careful not to take too much speed to spin off. But here's where you can get track invalidation. As you can see, Haaland is well within that track limit. And he comes across the line to put a 1 minute 46.9 seconds. We go on board now, Switcheroo, who is on his flying lap as well. Can he? Oh, yes, he does. He keeps it just within track limits, and then he comes up to the start finish straight to complete his lap. And where will he put this slower? It is significantly slower for 1:48. We're now on board with F. Rose, who is Haaland's rival. We'll then flick on board to see what Alfredson's doing. Alfredson is in the pit. He has not exited. He's still within the pits. Now we go on board with F. Rose, who sticks it in P2, a second slower than Haaland. We're on board now with F1 Jutsi, who puts it in P4. And Aiden, who puts it in P5. Well done to Aiden. He did really well there. Now, Skills Dan in the RB. Again, one of the new drivers, Aiden and Dan, P5 and P6 respectively. We have Hasho, remember one of the drivers that we've been told to look out for, puts it above Skills Dan. And now AG in the Ferrari puts it in P4 above F1 Jutsi. And apologies, drivers, if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Just do drop me a message in the Discord and do correct me at all. Ezo is a second down on Haaland's time. Remember, Haaland's time through that split was a 1:11. Now Ezo is coming around into sector 9, and you can see he is down on Haaland's time, and he puts it P7. Haaland improves again on his second flying lap. He did not cool off. He just went straight back out at it. And yes, Sir Spongy, it is rain today. Zenlente is currently on his flying lap at the moment, and I'm pretty sure Switcheroo has done another flying lap as well, and it is a 1:46.9. Well done to Switcheroo. Puts it P2 directly behind his teammate today in Haaland. Zenlente is now on Zenliti. I'm going to call him by his correct name. Zenliti is currently on a lap at the moment. Behind him is his teammate, who is also on a lap as well in F1 Jutsi. And Zenliti puts it struggling for the power to put the power down. P7. F1 Jutsi improves again. Well done to him. Let's go on board with F Rose. F Rose is just starting his lap now. Let's try to pick up another driver. Aiden Jones is 1.4 seconds up on his personal best. Well done to Aiden. I believe he is, or maybe that was just me looking at it incorrectly, but Ezo is up on his best. Well done to Ezo. Ezo is coming up. Sabrina Murray, sorry, that name is still difficult for me to pronounce, but Sab is P5 in the Aston Martin. So Hasho and Sab are teammates today, and Ezo is coming around. You can see the fronts are not biting, it's just sliding, but he managed to get a good exit. Now just one more corner for him to contend. Only one more braking point for him to action. and he squirts the throttle to get the car in a straight line, and he puts it P6. He goes 1.1 second improvement. Back on board now with Alex Hendricks. He pits. Alex Hendricks pits for new tires. No improvement for him there. Alfredson still in the pits. Tongina is still in the pits. Um, Other drivers that we're looking out for is F Rose. Remember, this guy is battling for the championship. He's currently sitting in P3 in 83 points. The winner of the championship, if you do not remember, gets £50, and the driver of the day, each and every race, gets £5. He's already won it once, and now he puts it P2 for 1.4 second improvement. Sucharu pits, F1 Jitsu pits. Let's see what's happening on board with Hallen. Hallen's still going for another run, and he's 1.2 seconds up. He's trying to cool his tires because his tires are overheating like crazy. Sucharu switched onto the intermediate tires. Tongina's onto the intermediate tires. Well done to him. Hasho's a tenth up, and Hasho's coming through the final corner now. And I believe this could potentially go fastest. No, he doesn't. He goes fourth fastest. 1.6 second improvement for Hasho. Well done to him. The Ferrari of AG puts it P3. Well done to him. AG has absolutely blitzed that lap, but look who's currently on a flyer, who's 7 tenths up. It's the man, the myth, the legend, the Belgium from France, because he does speak France. It's Haaland. Look at him now, turning the car now, squirting it, and he goes fastest by just on the 2 second improvement with 1.4 second improvement. Again, he is phenomenal. We call him the Terminator because he just keeps putting in consistent lap. He just keeps coming back. He never stays down. And we see Sucharu's currently on an outlap on the intermediate tires. Other drivers that we're looking out for now, I believe F Rose is coming up to the line. F Rose is pitting now. We're on board now with Zenliti, who's 1.4 seconds up. Zenliti now comes around the final corner. As you can see, the track is drying. Zenliti puts it P2. That shows how much the track is drying. Drivers need to come into the pit ASAP. Aiden Jones comes across the line and puts it P3. Well done to Aiden. Hasho's invalidated his lap time, and Saab absolutely blitzes it. Now we're just seeing track evolution. This is probably why Tong and Alfredson stayed in the pits for so long, because they're just waiting for the track to dry up, waiting for this to all go away. So all drivers, as you can see, Saab puts in the fastest first sector here. As the track is just drying up, it's still raining, but it's not wet tires yet. It's time for the intermediate tires to come. The wet tires will just simply overheat and rip themselves apart. So you'll need a more sturdy tire towards the slick end, and that's where the intermediate tire comes in. So what we'll do, we'll just go back on board now with Sucharu, who's 1.1 second up already out of the first sector. As you can see, he's instantly on the power. Sucharu is switching and rearing as he does, trying to claim a pole position now in the Inferno division. And if I will tell you information about Sucharu, he is currently P7 in Inferno. He's 48. He has 48 points. So he'll probably need to double his tally now to be able to make it to P1. So the fight is on. The fight is on, and it's never over until the fat lady sings. That's a saying for you kids out there that my mom used to say to me. So yeah, it is on. So Haaland, Saab, Zaliti leads in P1 to 3, but Suchiru's coming around and it looks like he's about to take pole position or provisional pole. As you can see, trying not to run through track limits, and he does by 6 seconds. That's how much it has improved by. Now we're just going to go back on board with Tongina, who has invalidated his flying lap. That's not good from Tong. But what we'll then do is just sit on track now with F1 Jitsi, who puts in the fastest middle sector, and he concedes over 4 seconds up on his personal best. So there is still a lot more time to come as he navigates this technical sector. As the Red Bull of F1 Jutsu pulls up to the line and he puts it P1. Well done to him. That's 4 tenths improvement on F1 Jutsu. We'll then go back on board. Other drivers that are coming up to the line, we can see Hasho's on his outlap. The Ferrari in AG is on his outlap. Haaland is on his outlap as well. Suchiru is on a lap and he is a 10th up on his personal best. I believe he needs to pit. Yeah, if you can hear me, you probably should pit, get new tires, because those tires just disintegrate themselves. It's as simple as that. They're just so feeble. But we can see some drivers switching on to the soft compound of tires, and that is Skills Dan, F Rose, and Saab have switched on to the soft compound of tires. They're going to roll the dice, and ladies and gentlemen, Alfredson has still not left the pits. The championship leader has still not left the pits. Those that are out are out. So Haaland has started his lap, and he's invalidated. Haaland has invalidated his lap. Tongina has put in a P3 performance. Alex Hendricks has put in a P4 performance. Well done to Alex Hendricks, and he'll cool his tires now. This is all kicking off, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 minutes 40 left. DRS is enabled, and has Haaland done the wrong thing? F Rose has the option of fitting soft tires on, but it's still raining. As you can see, the raindrops are still coming down on my screen. Haaland has backed out of this lap. He's just cooling his tires, cooling his engine, recouping everything so he can push one last time. Tongina is on a flyer as well, but we can see other drivers that are currently on a flyer as well. F1 Jitsi is coming up to the line, and he's starting his final run now. Alex Hendricks is trying to get back into the pit and out again, but he cannot. That is it for him. We're on board now with AG. Will AG put his Ferrari? And he goes to pole position. He improves by 2 seconds over F1 Jitsi. That is pole position for the Jamaican in Alex Hendricks. Now we have a McLaren. So F Rose is out on the soft compound of tires. Alfredson's out on the intermediates. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 minute 30 to decide who takes pole position around Texas COTA. It is absolutely tantalizing because we have soft and inters. What will it be? 1 minute 15 left to go. We're on board now with Tongina, who's coming into the pit lane. He cannot improve any more. Haaland is weaving his around. 1 minute to the line, and here he goes. This is his final run in the Mercedes, and we'll check back on board with him soon. Yeah, incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So has Saab. Saab has started his final run. Zenlente has put it P1 for the time being. Alex Hendricks has retired from the session because he didn't have enough time to get a new set of tires and come back out again. Now we have quite a lot of drivers. So that's F Rose starting his lap, and behind him directly, Suchiru starting his lap as well. This is incredible stuff. Is Suchiru a bit too close? Remember, Suchiru is on those soft compound of tires, and Suchiru goes deep. He goes deep. He goes off track. Unlucky stuff there, but let's see if he can improve. We'll just check back on board with Haaland and see if Haaland is improving. He is improving indeed. And what will his second sector time be? And he goes purple in that second sector time. Incredible stuff. That purple sector time is now snatched away by Saab, who, yeah, it's just crazy now. But we have F Rose, who's 2.1 seconds up after the first sector. That's an incredible amount of time, and you can see him pulling away from it. But we're back aboard with Haaland now. Where will Haaland put his Mercedes? And he goes pole position. Now we go to Saab. Where will Saab put his Aston Martin? Saab puts it P3. F1 Jitsu puts it P. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. The next driver across the line is Aiden Jones, who has unfortunately invalidated his time. F1 Jitsu is now coming across the line. He barely is improving. He needs a second to get pole position from Haaland. Where will he? He does not get it. The next driver across the line is Zenliti. Zenliti is across the line, but we have Skills Dan who gets it. Where will F Rose put his? F Rose did not have enough. It was not enough for F Rose on those soft compound of tires. Alfredson set no time. Alfredson could not set a time in qualifying. I know a lot happened there, but we'll go through the results. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, the Belgium has put it P1. F Rose puts it P2. F1 Jutsu puts it P3. Saab on his first race. This is his first race. Remember, P4. AG P5. Well done to him. Switcheroo P6. Could not improve on those soft compound of tires. Ezos P7. Skills Dan P8. Zeliti P9. Aiden Jones on his first race P10. Tung P11, Alex Hendricks P12, Hashel P13 on his first race, and unfortunately Alfredson could not set a lap, and he starts from the back of the grid in P14. 25 laps coming up, I believe it's 25 laps. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but it's clear weather. It is miraculous. Drivers should be happy because it's sunny days. The weather could change. Drivers, do let me know in the chat if the rain is due to come, because I can't see it in the comms box. But do give us a minute before you ready up. But please do not ready up as yet. Let drivers select their setups. But I believe someone has pressed it, unless I am wrong. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, I believe 1 minute is over. Feel free to ready up whenever you want to. And we can begin. Please do remember, go sensibly into turn one. No crazy stuff into turn one. And we have a red light. There is a formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see the tire choices for the driver. This is one of my favorite. Ezo, the odd man out in P7 on soft compound of tires, looking to make up ground. That he will get the best launch, theoretically, off the line. the gap to the leader in Haaland. Haaland's in P1. He goes out quickly. As you know, he pushes these medium tires hard, trying to get them up to temperature. And if those of you want to know what the actual race prediction is, do listen, because I know some drivers do listen. It will be a medium to hard, and the laps to pit will be lap 10 to lap 12. Lap 12 is the last time you can possibly pit if you have time. But as we can tell in this game, the undercut is really, really powerful. So lap 10 will be the choice to make. Alternative strategy is just medium hard, which is a two-stop. But I believe Ezo could be looking at an alternative strategy to go to the soft, push the soft as long as possible, and then switch on to the medium tires. Now, as again, drivers to look out for. Now, my favorite picks for the day is to look switching and roaring from P5, so from P6 all the way up to P5, but actually Ezo, that odd man out on the soft compound of tires, and he has immaculate race pace. He's honestly one of my most favorite drivers to watch. As you can tell, to stop is lap 1, sorry, mediums to lap 12. So again, drivers say again, lap 12 is the time to pit. So yeah, Ezo will be someone I want to look forward to. Let me just mute this thing before I proceed. As Haaland pulls into pole position, we have other drivers. So we want to look at Tongina, who's a great racer. Alex Hendricks, again, all these guys are great racers, but have a look at Alfredson. Honestly, what a class act, what a good racer. And yeah, but let's see the launch that everybody gets. Now we have 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And Haaland gets an amazing start ahead of Rose, but also Jetsu gets a great start. Haaland cuts it back off. Well done to Haaland there. And there's a slight contact between the Ferraris. Oh my god, something is happening here. I do not know what is happening, but there is AG and Ezo and Saab that's involved in a major incident. A major incident. But up ahead, we can see now Haaland, F-Rose, and Ezo begins their chase. But there is now a gap as Tongina gets a mighty job. I don't know what happened to Tongina. He's in P5. I believe he qualified in like P11, if I can remember that correctly. Tongina did really well to come up through it. He's been attacked and pushed by Skills Dan now. As you can see, Skills Dan is trying to get past Tongina. And F Rose battling with Haaland. F Rose goes around the outside and takes the lead off the COTA Grand Prix. But Haaland is not giving it up without a fight. F Rose sends it down the inside. And F Rose gets a 3-second penalty for track limit. And he lets Haaland through. There is now action at the back as Hasho's getting involved with Alex Hendricks, and Aiden Jones goes wide as he loses touch with Skills down, and Tongina closes back up on the pack with Switcheroo. Switcheroo improves from his P6 position to P4, and the DRS is now enabled. Good news for F Rose is that penalty cannot be served at a pit stop, so it can potentially be removed if it was given incorrectly. So no need to stress for F Rose there. Saab has lost touch of the back of the pack. Saab has dropped down. I believe he was in P4, I believe, or P6 or something like P5. I think it was P5, and now he's dropped down to P14. So there's something happening here. Zenlente and Hasho are going at it. Alex Hendricks takes a 3-second penalty for track limits. There's a driver lagging at the back. I believe that is Alfredson. This is very close, very tight, very cutesy, very demure. F Rose gets back past Haaland, and F Rose takes the lead again, once again, of this Grand Prix. There's still contact at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, this back race is just interesting to look at. But at the front, we can see Haaland is sticking to the back of F. Rose, not letting him go. And Switcheroo has joined the fight. Tongina is struggling to keep up. F. Rose puts in the fastest lap off the race, but Tongina 1.5 seconds to Switcheroo. He's struggling to stay in it. But it's raining, ladies and gentlemen. It is raining. If you cannot see, it is raining, and I believe this is what Ezzo was after. He saw that it was going to rain, so he switched onto the soft compound of tyres, get track position, and pit early. However, it has not worked out for him, and Ezzo has been involved in a collision. 2 seconds, the gap is now between the top 4 and Tongina. Let's see who will blink first. Who will pit first onto the intermediate tyres? Right now, it's way too dry to pit, so you will have to go, and I believe around lap 5 you want to pit, but the rain in this race is so sporadic that you can go 1 lap longer. It will be dry by the time you get to turn 3, 4, 5. It is absolutely damp and wet. And as you can see, Haaland has taken that leap, taking the overtake, and he's going for the move on. But also, so is Switcheroo. Switcheroo sends it down the inside of Tongina. Sorry, of Jetsu. Jetsu tries to defend his position, but Switcheroo wants to get in ahead of him. But remember, there is now an issue. There is a Mercedes problem where Haaland will pit. Switcheroo will have to go long because they cannot double stack. And as you can see, F1 Jitsu is having massive amount of oversteer and opposite lock coming into that. Tongina's dropped away from this. Alfredson gets past Hasho, and Alfredson sending around the outside of Hasho. Well done to Alfredson. The Venezuelan has absolutely done a job there on Hasho and made his way from P14 in now P10. He is in. Well done to him. Next up on the list is AG, and AG you can see he's lining up the Ferrari ride. Is he going to send it up the inside of turn 1? No, he's not. He's going to stay same, but down below we can see Zanlitty sends it up the inside of Ezzo. Ezzo cannot do anything to help that situation there. Up ahead, we can see that Tong has completely and utterly disconnected away from Skills, from Switcheroo. Skills that is just following him as you go along. Next up, we can see now F. Rose is lining up the move on Haaland to go back for the overtake on this, but we'll switch on board back with this once we see what happens here. As you can see, F. Rose is about to do an overtake on Haaland, and Haaland defends on the inside. You can see Haaland defends, but F. Rose goes for the inside, and F. Rose sends his McLaren down it, but Haaland is still on the outside, and F. Rose gets the move completed, and he leads the COTA Grand Prix again. There's someone around, and that is Tongina. Oh no, Tong is around. That is unfortunate. Heartbreak, man. Heartbreak. I believe is Paraguayan. I'm not sure. Do correct me if I am wrong, or from Uruguay. I'm not sure. But heartbreak for the Alpine, man. Honestly, one of my favorite drivers, and those of you know he's honestly one of my favorite drivers. There's now a swap between the Ferrari boys. Has AG lets Alex Hendricks lets AG go, and Alfredson's breathing down the neck of Alex Hendricks, and there he goes Alfredson. Alfredson gets past the Ferrari in Alex Hendricks, and Alex Hendricks can do absolutely nothing to help that situation. But Alex Hendricks tries to switch back. He tries to do a Lando Norris, but the Paraguayan has that undercover, and Alfredson gets past Alex Hendricks. The next on the list is the next Ferrari in AG. When will these guys pick? It is getting wetter and wetter by the second. Skills Dan is absolutely being hounded by Aiden Jones. Remember, Tongina is out of this. Tongina has fallen down into P14 and is slowly but surely making his way back up. But up ahead we can see F1 Jitsu has lost touch with the leaders, and Switcheroo has now gotten back past him, trying to use that DRS and ERS to get back into the DRS off F. Rose, because these two have absolutely checked out. Can Switcheroo have enough pace to get back into it, and Aiden Jones get back past him? But there's contact. What was that? Oh my lord. There was something happening with AG, and he has no front wing. Alex Hendricks. That was not nice to see. I don't know what's happened there. Oh my lord, man. That is Hasho's winning to the wall. What is Hasho doing? Sorry, lady, but sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, something's happened with Hasho and AG, and I don't know what's happened, but that was a massive, massive collision, and AG doesn't have a front wing anymore to contend with. And AG has now changed his front wing and put on a set of hard compound tires. Let's have a view if he actually. No, no, he didn't change the front wing. He didn't. They didn't change it. So that is heartbreak for the Jamaican, who qualified so well. And remember, a race ago he was leading the championship, and now F1 and Switcheroo are trying to switch and route back their way to in front of the group, but down the inside goes Skills Dan on the inside of Aiden Jones. Aiden Jones trying to make the overtake, but does not. But Aiden Jones trying to go for the switchback on Alfredson. Remember, I don't know what happened, but Alfredson has been dispatched the Ferraris. He was fighting with AG and Alex Hendricks, but they are no longer a threat anymore. But now Alfredson is trying to make his way through. F. Rose and Holland are above and just switching and ruining as they go along. F1 Jitsu is trying to keep pace with Switcheroo. Sorry, trying to keep pace with Holland, but cannot. And he's just stuck in a train or stuck together in a pair with Switcheroo. Skills Dan is now being overtaken by Alfredson. Alex Hendricks has retired within the pit lane. Not too sure what's happened there, but he has retired. Tongina has pitted. Ezo has pitted. Tongina has placed on a set of intermediate tires, so has Ezo, so has AG. I believe this could be their lifeline to get back. Alfredson's now through the traffic and is making his way slowly but surely up to Switcheroo and the group. Ladies and gentlemen, bear for a second. I'm just going to invite our co-commentator in, Alex Hendricks, to the party so he can just give you a perspective of what happened. But just have a look at these pit stops now. We'll just look now and see what happened now. As you can see, Haaland is just dummying him into pitting, but Switcheroo has pitted. Switcheroo has gone into the pits. Switcheroo has gone into the pits. He's made the early jump. F1 Jitsu stays out. Haaland stays out. F Rose stays out. And Switcheroo actually promised me. He said, D, I will never make that mistake again. In Vegas, there was a time where he could have pitted before Haaland and got the race victory, but now he's going to do the undercut, get on the better tyres, get on the fresh tyres, get on those intermediate tyres and start absolutely pumping in laps. And as you can see, he's out in front of Saab. Saab has made his way back up the field after that early incident. And now we have Tongina, Hasho, and Aiden Jones trying to clamber their way through on those intermediate set of tyres. But as you can see, Switcheroo versus Skills down ahead of him. He's taken tenths and chunks of tenths out of him. Already he's taken a second out of Skills down. And now it's now critical for Haaland, F Rose, and F1 Jet2 to pit, or else Switcheroo will come out miles and miles ahead of them. Let's see what will happen now. And Hasho gets another 3 second penalty. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Hendricks, 98, the Ferrari man, ex Red Bull driver, has finally dragged us slash co-commentator. Um, he put in, I believe he boxed for soft tires, but there was a time to come out back in and out of the pits again. So he put in a phenomenal race, but now he's joined us in the comms box. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No worries. Obviously, I think I joined obviously, and there was no like I didn't have any practice at all. Um, beforehand, then I just thought, I'm available. I've got a couple of minutes. I said, why not join? But yeah, I just ran out of time towards the end of that qualifying session. I think the softs were the best tire to go on for those last couple of minutes or so. But yeah, it
Sorry
was
to cut you off again, and
go on.
Switcheroo takes the lead of this train, and Switcheroo comes
Oh,
out
he's got
ahead
a
of.
penalty though.
He does have a penalty. Can that be
Yeah,
appealed? Let's see. Switcheroo comes out ahead of F Rose, Hallen, and F1. So the undercut work, but up ahead is Skills Dan on those medium set of tires, and maybe he's waiting for a safety car, maybe he's waiting for something to happen. But this is interesting stuff. AG has closed down by, I believe that is 30 seconds on Hasho, so that's really good pace from AG there. So he's putting in work in the Ferrari. As you can see, Citroen is trying to get past Skills down, and the Skills down does not make it hard for him. But F Rose sends it up the inside, and down right beneath him is Holland, the Belgium, trying to do some, but Skillton is getting in the way, and Haaland is trying to overtake Everose. Everose is not trying to let that happen, and it is as you were. Everose leading Haaland, but Sucharu is the biggest loser in all of this. Is F1 Jitsu? I don't know what happened. Maybe he had to double stack with Lente. I'm not sure, but maybe something happened in the pits. But he's dropped by about 3 seconds to this chasing pack.
it's just so it is. I mean, it can go one of two ways. It can really work for Mercedes if Sucharu does the teammate game, or can go horribly wrong and they both lose out.
And up the inside goes Alan, and Haaland almost gets a bit. He almost gets spun round by
Yeah,
Sucharu there, but
literally.
that was very, very tight stuff. And Skills Dan is off. Skills Dan is off.
Oh dear, Rose's passed. Rose's passed.
Wow, and F Rose is now up the inside, but switching and ruin he goes. Switcheroo trying to go around the long way around, but no space there for him. Now, while these three fight on track, what happened? I saw Ferrari flying into turn 11. That's where Lando Norris overtook Max Verstappen, and AG dropped to the back of the grid. You went, and then through was Alfredson. I'm not too sure what happened. Could you just give some light and
As to what happened at the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was coming out of that final corner. I think Sucharu got a tardy exit, and Rose was all over that and completely got past him. But it just looks Sucharu doesn't look comfortable in these wet conditions. I think he's got to maybe now make a decision and let Haaland go through, which looks like it's happening now with Haaland going past Sucharu now. The DRS open. So now Haaland can now recenter his focus back on Rose.
Definitely. Further back now, we can see Aiden Jones is trying to get past Ezo. But yeah, the train has just been broken up significantly there. But what I was talking about earlier is in turn 11, there was a incident with the Ferraris, yourself and AG and Alfredson. I'm not too sure if Alfredson was involved, but
no, it was. Oh, when it was what like got made me retire from the race.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's the second Aston Martin in P11.
Hasho.
Yeah, Hasho decided I'm just gonna dive bomb, or maybe it didn't even dive bomb. Like he had the DRS, he had every right to make the move, but instead of actually going for the inside line, he's driven into the back of me, and then his front wheel was stuck on my rear wheel, and I couldn't slow the car down, and so it was just a train wreck after that. So yeah, it was one of those ones, to be honest with you. But yeah, just it's a shame because AG was coming back from the early contact that he had on lap 1, and yeah, obviously set him back all the way back to the back of the grid, which is not great as a team perspective. But this is what happens when people make decisions like this. But it is what it is. Anyway, Coming
Yeah,
onto the straight now, Haaland is lining up Rosé for an overtake. Citroën is slightly falling behind, but he is still there. Can Haaland now get past with the DRS open as well?
I think
It
the
looks like he
driver
can.
who's fastest at the moment right now is someone that you probably don't see, but it's F1 Jitsu. He's taken a second out of Subaru, F Rose, and Holland
Oh
in the
wow.
in the previous lap, and he's closing quite quickly.
Oh wow.
Just in
Yeah.
that straight, he's taken out 2 tenths already out of Subaru as well. So he's really closing down. I hope he's not utilizing or burning up his tires too quickly.
Yeah.
But hopefully he
That's
can
the
make this a full horse race. Zinliti has come from far and he's now P5. Well done to him. But he's been hounded by Alfredson. Now Alfredson, I don't know if you know, but he's the man, the myth, the legend, the championship leader at the moment.
at the moment. Yeah. I've kind of been out of touch with Inferno for the last couple of weeks, but I've just checking some of the results and championship standings. And yeah, Alfredson seems to have made a name for himself quickly. But if I may mistaken, if he's already been here before,
No, this is his first race. He joined Inferno. He finished first.
yeah.
So,
So yeah,
um,
literally. But it looks like he's lining up or sizing up Zenlity for a move into turn one.
definitely. And Trisharu's now lost touch with these guys. Oh, as you can see, it's a
Oh, he just
massive. Yeah, that was a
his
massive
setups.
oversteer.
Yeah, his
Hasho's
setup
now
does look really good.
DNF'd.
It's that it's. I think if the rain does stop in time, maybe he could kind of go back to feeling a lot more stable with the car, with the setup and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just wet rev on this game is not. It's unforgiving ultimately. But F Rose seems to be, yeah, he's making his overtake on Alan now.
And as you can see now, F1 Jutsu has
And you can
taken a
see
second again
of
out of
Citroen.
Switcheroo. So he is absolutely flying.
He's dialed in. That car is on rails. But Haaland and I think Alfredson's got past Nitty as well. Trying to see, and Aiden Jones has got past Tongina. Oh, but Tongina comes back down the inside and he contacts.
Oh,
Eesh.
oh, we a bit of wheel in there, but all fair play. Nothing there. But again, I'm
Yeah,
heartbroken for Tangina because he made, I don't know if you saw his start, but he made an absolute
absolutely great
start.
start, but he's overcooked that overtake.
Oh,
He's off the track.
the,
But
he,
yeah, so I did see he made a good amount of places. But I think did he get caught up in that first corner pile up?
no, no. So he went from P12 all the way to P5, and
Uh,
he was in P5 for quite a long time. And then
yeah,
I believe, I don't want to call a wrong name here, but I believe it was Sub. No, it wasn't Sub. No, it wasn't Sub. It was someone else. Skills Dan, sorry.
yeah.
That sent it into the back of him. Absolutely
That's
sent it
not
into the
great.
back of him and just gave him a full 360 spin. And F1 Jutsu's now through. Absolutely through. What a bloody
Wow,
move. That is
wow.
not a place that you should be overtaken, but as you can see, he
Even
is,
DRS,
yeah, he's gotten it
excellent.
done, and now he's already put a second already on Switcheroo, so he
Yeah,
definitely has the pace, and hopefully he can carry
look
this
at he's
on.
got. So Haaland is probably going to overtake. Well, yeah, he looks like he's going to overtake Rosé. But there's something I want to bring to your attention. AG at the back, Skills down at the back, and Sambina Mira have all stopped for hard.
Interesting
So
stuff.
my question to you is: have they gone too early, or is this the perfect time?
I believe it's to
I
because
think it's too early because
it's too early because the gap is not come. Even though the gap is coming down, they're comparing it to Tongina, who's
yeah.
he's is not having the best time. Let's be honest.
And
He's
on top of
it's
that, they're going to be on fresher tyres when they stop anyway, and they're going to be on worn tyres in comparison to the guys who stop later. It's just, you know, unless they're lighting up the timing screens, it might be a bit too early, but we'll see.
I mean, it's really a hail Mary from these guys, right? To just
Yeah,
get something out of this race, which I
exactly.
respect so much because honestly, this is me. I'd have retired a long time ago.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. But I'm just looking at position change, and Alfredson has gained 9 places in this race,
Yeah,
and
absolute
he's
legend.
catching switcheroo at this point. He's still 8 seconds off, but
Yeah, he caught him by a second and a half last lap.
yeah.
So
So I'm gonna
now,
run
I get
down
what
to
Subaru has to do now. He has to
mm,
do again. It's the same problem that Mercedes has. He has to
yeah,
time his pit stop well, so
perfectly.
he has to go early. He has to go early, and Haaland just pits whenever Subaru pits, doesn't pit, or whatever it may be.
So
But yeah,
F Rose is getting the move done on Haaland. I think this is productive for both of them because it it keeps them ahead and a decent distance away from F1 Jutsi.
and F1
So
Jitsi has the pace because he's still catching them slowly,
yeah, ever so
but
slightly, yeah,
yeah, but they're still keeping that gap because of just slipstreaming each other. So really really
yeah,
good stuff from them. Switcheroo just dropped back by 2 seconds. You can tell he's set his car up for a dry setup, and
yeah,
he's just having a massive amounts of oversteer. Look at that car
yeah. I mean,
switching.
Alfredson's taken a full 2 seconds now out of him, and it's only been a couple of laps. Uh, so I think a track like this, like I mean, the setup I went for in qualifying was a high downforce setup. I felt the straight, as much as it is a factor, you've got the DRS and ERS to help out.
And
But I
Switcheroo is
didn't feel
pitted.
he's pitting.
Yeah, he's pitted.
Wow.
Hard tires. He's gone early. I don't think he has a choice. He has to do it.
Yeah.
He has to salvage something from this race, or else Alfredson will finish ahead of him.
But for someone like Suchuru, do you do you sympathize with him as in, or is he not trying to accept that Haaland is maybe the quicker driver and still trying to impose himself and say, hey, I can just be as quick as him on any given day on any given track?
I think he knows Harden is faster than him by just raw
Yeah,
speed, but I think
yeah,
he prides himself on having great racecraft and great
racecraft.
race awareness. And I do
Yeah,
give him that. I've raced with him. Well, I've raced with him. I've raced against him, and I've commentated on him. And I do give him that he does have
yeah,
great racecraft. Um, but I do think there's something in him that wants to prove that he's the best. I agree with you.
yeah,
But yeah, I think Haaland has that number one driver status on lock.
yeah. I do feel Switcheroo, in all the time that I've raced with him, he has shown incredible pace. Like even when he's on the back foot and stuff like that. So who knows? And he is good with tyre wear, managing his tyres as well. So maybe, he can close the gap to some degree and maybe even come out a good distance. But Haaland, Rose are pitting.
At the same
F1
time,
Jitsi is now. Oh, no, he's dived in as well.
he's
Last minute
dived in.
decision, but he's
Oh,
pitting. Might
what
have
happens?
just done
What would
there.
Alfredson do? Alfredson stays out.
He stays
Alfredson
out.
does not pit. Where does Switcheroo come out? Let's see.
Oh, well, this is not great because, excuse me, if the hard tires right now are quicker,
Yeah,
Alfredson's going to lose time. He's just going to lose time. But we'll
and they
see. We'll
go
see
to the
how it goes.
medium tires, medium compound of tires. And where does Switcheroo come out? Switcheroo,
Suchuru come out. He's just going to come out way behind them.
yeah, it's still way behind them. Did not work
So
out for him.
perhaps maybe the hard tire isn't the tire of choice just yet. But Rose has gone on to mediums and Haaland's gone on to hards.
Hards,
That
yeah.
will be interesting.
I believe interesting because remember the softer compound tires grips better when it's wet and slicky. Um,
Yes.
and that hard compound warm up is notorious. However, the
Yeah.
one of the best person I've seen do it is honestly Haaland. He warms up tires the best I've ever seen, honestly, on any game.
Mm,
On any restart, he could restart on 32 lap old hards and he will get it done and be okay. You can see he's trying to break the
the
slipstream
toe. Yeah.
from F Rose
They are.
up ahead.
Yeah.
Um,
They are catching Alfredson as well. So I think Alfredson's got to make a decision here. Um. Yeah.
I believe if
So,
Alfredson pits, he comes out. Yeah, he'll come up behind Zinliti, or maybe just in front of him actually.
mm,
Yeah, this did not work out. That bet in gamble did not work out for Shisharu. Um, Jitsu, the gap stayed the same, and F Rose just has to just hope the grip comes to him.
yeah. So in comes Alfredson. Harlan will reclaim the lead, and yeah, like you said, let's just hope. grip comes for Rose very soon. We are about, I want to say 12 laps from the end.
Yes. As you can see now, F Rose is now coming back within the DRS of Haaland, but there is
Mm,
still a lot of penalties to contend with, and
yeah,
F1 Jitsu could be in a shout of a podium or a victory if he can get his stuff together.
yeah,
Right. So, in all of this now, technically speaking, and this is technically speaking, Alfredson has gained 2 seconds on switcheroo during that time because before the pit stops he was 7 seconds
yes,
behind him,
he was.
and now he is 5.5.
Yeah, Switcheroo's got to kind of hope that this track dries up quickly and he can kind of go back to that optimal setup that he has for the dry. Because these interchangeable conditions are kind of like messing him up ultimately.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I believe this
on
is
Jutsu,
a habit of switcheroo to have poor. I believe it's poor tire pressures or just
yeah,
he struggles with tire temperatures quite a lot, race by
mm,
race. That looks like a track limit violation there by Hallen, but I'm not a steward, so
yeah,
it, boy, these, let's see the time penalties that everyone has.
they're closing in now.
3 seconds by front. Nothing's really happening on track. Let's check in with other drivers as well. As you can
Yeah,
see, Zenlity is in his own world, not attacking or fighting anyone. Ezo, again, his own world. He started on a soft compound of tires, and I don't know what happened. He was wheel locked completely with AG, and
yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
yeah, mate.
Aiden Jones, he's fighting with Sab or Sabino.
Rose's got another 3 second penalty.
Wow, that cannot be appealed now. Aye, aye, aye.
I think Haaland's he's saving battery. You know you're quick when you can spend the entire first sector saving ERS.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Rose takes the lead. Now Rose's ultimately just got to put his head down and just get on with it.
Do you know what's interesting? I've raced with Rose since 2022
Yeah.
or 2021. I think 2020. No,
Mm.
2021. I've raced with Rose. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
And hand on heart, I have. I never thought I'd see a driver faster than him. And then in early this year, I was in open lobbies recruiting for the new league that myself and Spongy's created. And I came across this guy, and obviously we're battling nice. And I was like, "Do you want to join the league?" He's like, "I've never joined the league before," and we were
Yeah.
speaking a lot. And then it was Marvin, or Hallen as you call him, and he joined his first ever league and just kept blitzing it. But he was a king of bottling it, so he would like speed in the pit lane or like split
Yeah.
and crash. But then he honed his craft throughout the summer and then just absolutely killed it. And
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see a driver faster there for Jose, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I remember the first time I raced with Rose. Like I think we raced around. It was like a social session. It was like a 50% race. Beat him to the line. Obviously, I had a 3 second penalty, but beat him to the line, and I was like mouthing off and giving it to him. And then the next race after that was a Canada race, and I think he undercut me in the race. And in those 3 laps that he undercut, I think he closed. I think he took about 10 seconds out of me before I could even pit and say where am I going to come up behind him.
Wow.
So he is that guy. Literally, he is that guy. So yeah,
Yeah.
but Haaland retakes the lead again. Um, again, these guys are just like one that they're literally that they're probably just as good as each other. Like,
Yin and Yang.
like
Um,
literally, you know.
Alfredson's taken out another second alpha switcheroo. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing now with the difficulty that Haaland's facing now, oh sorry, F
Mm,
Rose is facing now, as the lap goes on, he gets slower because those hard
yeah.
tires will start to work better.
But F1 Jitsi is also on medium tires as well.
And the gap has remained the exact same. 5 seconds has
Same.
been 5 seconds for the past, what, 4 laps?
Yeah. My only fear is that as as we get into like the lap 24s, lap 25s, like Haaland's going to be able to lean more into these hard tires where Rosé's already leaning into the mediums now because he
Yeah,
ultimately has to.
yeah,
So we'll just have to see how it goes. But same thing with F1 Jutsi as well. Like he's absolutely attacking the track, and I think the most frustrating thing is it's attacking the track and only seeing, not even seeing the thing go down. It's staying the same. So it's like, do you know what I mean? So
when the driver ahead of you is not really doing that much.
yeah, exactly. So but I think what he also has to contest with F4 Jutsi is they're racing with DRS every lap, so he's having to do a lot more than those guys. So
And if Rose is again taking the lead
taking
again,
the lead,
but
yeah.
he has the fastest lap, which is 134.3. I think
Mm,
Haaland will know that, and Haaland will want that back. He just,
well, no, exactly.
yeah,
But I mean, he's got 97% DRS. So at this point, I think, is it a case of Haaland just perhaps just toying with, not toying, but like just kind of pacing himself and managing the tires, and then probably gonna put his foot down at some point
definitely. Now we're back
because
on board with Saab and Aiden Jones, who's been glued to each other the whole entire race, I must say.
yeah.
And Aiden Jones is obviously lining them up, but not going for the move. Ezo has left the session. He's
Disconnected by the looks of it, and they're probably got the hard boys are going to catch him. Saab and Aiden Jones. Not
and I,
great.
and I believe the reason for the poor turnout today, currently right now, it is FP2. Um,
Yeah,
and the new Call of Duty is out. I myself have been on Call of Duty quite
I
a
think
lot.
it's more to do with Call of Duty than FP2 in Mexico. And it's no offense to Mexico, but it's rising up for the Mexico. Like no one's gonna go, oh, no, we've missed the Mexico GP. Do you know what I mean? I think the championship, like IRL, is a foregone conclusion at this point. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to catch Max because Ferrari and McLaren are taking points off each other, and that's the best case scenario for Max in this situation.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
if I'm one of those teams like Ferrari, especially Ferrari, I'm starting to think about 2025. Do what you need to do for this year in terms of constructors, but 2025 has got to be the focus. Go all out for those 2 years with Lewis or 3 years with Lewis and Leclerc, and see what you can get from there. So
Yeah.
yeah. So for the first time in like what 10 laps, oh no, did no, I think Haaland. Sorry, Haaland has retaken the lead. I was going to say for the first time in 10 laps, Rose has not been able to overtake
But
Haaland,
also
but he
now
is.
Haaland is using his ERS now.
Yeah.
He's absolutely
So
dumped. Look at him dumping it.
yeah.
Absolutely dumping it.
So this is it. So it's like exactly what I was saying before. Ultimately, he's waiting to just kind of start leaning on the tires because ultimately Rose's mediums won't have that performance in the last stages.
So
Big
I
lockup
think
from F1 Jutsi, who's lost ultimately a second because of it. By the looks of it, I think his tyres are starting to start giving him issues.
so.
Um,
That lap just then was a 134.6. F Rose's fastest lap is a 134.396. So I believe just
okay,
then Haaland tried to go for the fastest lap, but it
fastest lap.
didn't work.
Okay,
So he'll probably abandon it, recharge again, and then try to attack once
do
more.
it again. I think he's got to do it on a lap where he's got the DRS as well.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at if this Delta I'm looking at now, oh, Rose goes on the inside though. Big lock up there, makes it stick. Yep, he's retaking the lead. Um, it's ultimately got to be a lap where, yeah, he's got the DRS, but I don't know if their delta on their steering wheels is correct because it's saying that Rosa is going 1.8 seconds quicker than his previous lap, but I think it's wrong by the looks of it because on the actual time screen it says he's 2 tenths down. So, um,
Yeah. And Alfredson's taken another second and a half out of switcheroo, so now the gap is 3 seconds. Can switcheroo hold on for the next 5 laps? I believe he
yeah,
can. I think he has it in the locker to hold on. but now the gap is under 3 seconds. So
I mean, Alfredson was half a second faster on that lap of his personal best. So yeah,
Switcheroo's actually using his ERS, so he's 30 under 30% now. So it's not like he's
okay.
been conserving; he's been trying to actively stay away from Alfredson.
Yeah. Aiden Jones has passed. Sorry, Aiden Jones has passed Saab. So yeah, Ezra's not been able to get back into
And
the
Haaland's
session.
now overtaken F Rose.
Oh, yep, yep.
And now
100. So I think.
another half a second of Alfredson of Switcheroo. But yeah, back to your previous point where you said everyone's basically quitting or not coming because of COD. You're probably right. It is a good
Mm,
game. It is a really good
it
game.
is, yeah. I
Have you been
think
playing it?
it being a Saturday as well, after like the release as well, I think it's probably played a factor. But
And
I
Haaland
think
gets the fastest lap of the race,
wow,
133.8. Wow, bloody hell! But also at the same time, that was also F Rose's personal best. So
yeah, okay,
yeah, it's yin and yang, as I say.
yes, definitely.
What are the time penalties? Someone asked in the comment section. So it is 3 seconds, 6 seconds for F Rose, 3 seconds for Switcheroo, and Alfredson's 1.6 seconds behind now.
My God,
Six seconds for
you
Zalente.
can you can smell it. You
Yeah, I
can
know.
practically smell him, and he's 1.5 temps up on his previous best lap. So Rose retakes the lead.
So now penalties. F1 Jitsu has had a pretty much straightforward race. He started where he is in the position where he started. Switcheroo's
Mm,
gained 2, Alfredson's gained 9, Zalinti's gained 3, Aiden's gained 3, Saab has lost 4, Tonga's lost gained 2, but technically he's lost quite a lot. Um, Ezzo's lost 3. AG, heartbreak for AG. Skills Dan is
mm.
retaking the fastest lap of the race. I know that will probably
So
annoy. That would
that was
definitely.
a 100%,
And,
and AG stopped for soft as well.
and
So that is
AG.
obviously gonna 100% wind up Haaland.
Yeah.
Look forward to the Discord later on. um, but Alfredson's practically within DRS paddocks a bit, and even if he doesn't get him, which is highly unlikely, Chicharu's still got that track limit penalty. So yeah, he hasn't got the DRS now, but he's in DRS range now, pretty much. So I expect an overtake in the DRS zone.
So we'll just go back on
Um,
board with this fight. Alfredson has 50% ERS, so does Switcheroo. Switcheroo's harvesting his ERS. Honestly, two drivers that are complete opposites of their driving
mhm.
style. Alfredson's aggressive, um, fair, hard racer, but doesn't really make much mistakes. To be fair, to be honest,
Yeah,
just goes along his craft silently. Silent killer, you can call him. While Switcheroo is the complete opposite to that. Great racecraft, not the quality merchant. Um, but goes about his business in a way of like getting into a lot of fights, a lot of trenches, and
yeah.
just digging a good result out. But now here goes Alfredson, and Alfredson's past Switcheroo easy. Switcheroo
Takes
didn't even
well.
try to fight it,
Yeah.
and that
I
is
mean, it's smart on
honestly,
Switcheroo's end. Don't want to waste time fighting when you've already got a penalty. So good on Switcheroo. But absolutely just incredible from Alfredson. 10 laps gained. I mean, 10 positions gained this race.
and he doesn't have a
Um,
penalty as well.
exactly. So I
Driver
think
of the day, in my opinion.
it's definitely a strong candidate. Um,
Back on board now with Haaland. And I believe this is what F. Rose was complaining about last race in Monza, where
yeah.
I believe Haaland will probably just sit behind him and just DRS him on the last laps. But um, the benefit of COTA is the Turn 11 doesn't allow you to do that all the time. So it can
Yeah,
actually you can actually just run a driver wide as you've seen Max do. So
yeah,
Rose has the benefit of that. So I think, as you can see, Highland's on basically 100% ERS.
mm,
F Rose is 60 around that area. Um,
yeah,
but if I was F Rose, I'd just let Highland pass and just do to him what he did to me.
yeah, exactly. Just yeah. Even if you're not gonna get a win, just for the sake of like, you know, getting taking back the receipt, you might as well. I mean, to be fair, I mean, Rose's completely, completely proved both of us wrong, and has 100% made those medium tires work lap by lap. As
Uh,
AG takes the fastest lap.
He's
I
literally a
think
real life troll, man. Honestly, I love it.
I think he's just ahead. I think he's just ahead of the leaders.
Yeah,
Um,
so they can see it.
I don't know if they yeah, so they can see that happen. I don't know if Harlan will be able to catch him before the end of the race, but yeah, as I said, that Discord will be an interesting place to be tonight.
AG, man. I don't know what's obviously gone on. Don't know what's happened. Don't know who's taken who out. Obviously, I always wish for peace and calmer. But boy,
um, yeah, Rose's gone down the inside before the DRS, before the DRS, and he's gonna get in there.
he got him because Rose has the DRS. He does. Yes, he
Yeah,
does. And he's going to use his overtaker. There he goes. F Rose now has the DRS. Haaland
but there's
cannot
still
do
one more
anything.
lap.
There's still one more lap. Don't know why he did it so early. He showed his hand a bit too early, but
Or has it
maybe,
got
maybe AG is
is
going to
going
give him
past?
DRS. AG will
Oh,
probably
maybe.
give him DRS.
That's smart. Oh, Rose's played that well. Rose's played that well.
Oh,
If he can just, if he can ever so slightly back up, I think he's slowing down by the looks of it. Or
do you
maybe
think
not.
AG slowing down too much? AG has to get out of the way if they get too close, or else AG
Perhaps
will get disqualified.
disqualified, yeah.
Haaland's gonna kick off.
I don't think AG's moving out the way.
Haaland's gonna
Oh my
kick off.
God.
Haaland
He's
is.
gonna be keeping final lap here in COTA. AG is not looking like he's gonna get out of the way. It looks like he might give Rose DRS.
Haaland is
Um,
going to kick off. I'm very sure.
and to make matters worse, Haaland's got less ERS than Rose.
Oh my gosh, man. Haaland is
Haaland,
going to kick off, man.
wow.
Haaland's my guy, and so is F Rose. But as the famous words, not like this. Not
Yeah,
like this.
not like this, not like these guys. Um, it definitely reminds me of the 2021 race we had here, where Mick
Yeah,
gave,
Mick gave Max. Yeah,
but
there we
here
go.
comes
There we
Haaland, man.
go. There we go, Helen. And is Helen going to set it up the inside? Yes, he does. Oh my gosh, and Efrosi squeezes him.
Oh,
And he goes up track. What a helicopter view that we're looking at right now. And look at Helen trying to hang it around, but Efrosi ain't there. But Helen sends me up the inside. And Efrosi tries to switch back.
switchback. Oh
And he
my word.
gets it. Oh my gosh,
Water
Efrosi,
move.
the Jamaican and the Belgium. Who's going to come on top? Coming around the final corner. There's two more corners left between Helen. It's Holland. It's Holland, but
Oh, it is
Efrosi, can he
Haaland.
send me up the inside? No, he can't, but
No, he
Haaland
can't.
gets a free
Haaland's
second
got a free
penalty.
second.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow, that is incredible. And F1 Jitsu, where does he come along? Oh my gosh, that Switcheroo gets past Alfredson. We didn't see that, but Switcheroo is probably going to appeal his penalty.
Yes.
Saab and Aiden, these two are now doing a repeat of what just happened just a minute ago. Incredible. And now look at is it yeah? Aiden tried to do a switchback, but Ned Saab got him, and that is that for that fight. Wow, well done, drivers. Thank you so much for joining us, and here we have it, your winner Haaland.
F1 Haaland. I mean, what? Sorry, F1 Haaland. F Haaland. I mean, not F1 Haaland. Haaland, congratulations again. But it's just so interesting to see how these guys, Rose and Haaland, just 100 go from like the little chess games to heavyweight boxing in those in that
It's
last like first.
crazy, man.
It's mental.
But the most important thing, respect, and they kept it respectful. Gave us a good show.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, AG, for giving us a good show as well.
yeah,
F1 Jitsu, Alfredson got it. I don't know what happened to Chiru. I believe that's a glitch or something. I'm not sure, but driver of the day is probably going to be Alfredson. I think. Let's just see
yeah,
what the game
definitely.
produces. Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
Alfredson
100%.
in the kit
Well deserved.
Sauber well-deserved drive of the day. But thank you so much, drivers, and everyone. I've been your host D, and the next track coming up on the list is, I believe, Mexico next week at the same time.
Yes.
And there you have it. The winner today, provisionally because there's penalties to deal with and contend with, is Haaland
Mm,
in the Mercedes. We have
yep.
FRA in the McLaren, F1 Jitsu in the Red Bull. I believe that driver should be switcheroo. Then
Yeah.
Alfredson, Zalinti, Saab, Aiden Jones, Tong, Skills Done, AG, Ezo, Hash, and yourself, Alex, in P14. But thank you so much. I've been your host, and this is Alex.
Yep.
And
Take
we'll
care of
see you
yourself,
next week.
guys. See you.
Take care.